Okay, you've got the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Cappy, so I feel like this is you guys. This is your energy. And I feel like you're questioning things. I feel like you're questioning your self-worth. I think you're re-looking at how you're providing for others and for yourself. And I feel like you're turning the focus more onto yourself, and you're saying, all right, look, I got to make me a priority now. You know, I feel like you're working on creating a new funding stream for you, or maybe working on a new passion project. I feel like maybe some of you are maybe seeking a new direction in a career path. You know, something that you were doing is no longer serving you, and you're going a different direction that may yield a bit more success. You know, maybe creative freedom, maybe a raise. So I feel like this is all about your independence, and you know, you're taking your focus off of nurturing others and making sure everyone else is good. It's time to focus on yourselves right now, Capricorn. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip the cards. I'm going to do so quietly so that way I can sort of check in with the energy. All right, so just give me a moment. Interesting. So central to your reading is the Six of Cups. And all the readings that I've done so far today, the Six of Cups has showed up in some form or fashion. For yours, this is central to your reading. And I think for the Pisces reading, they had Six of Cups central to theirs as well. Okay, so what does this mean? The past is resurfacing. Either you're feeling nostalgic about the past and thinking about good times. Maybe you're missing someone from the past, like an old relationship, an old lover, old flame, old soulmate, or someone from the past is going to make contact with you. Either they've already done so or they're about to. All right. But the past is coming up. And I feel like that's true for a lot of people in the collective. It's just that right now we are really tying up loose ends on karmic situations that happened 10 years ago. And this has been a process. You know, I feel like I've been talking about this closing down of karmic timelines, this karmic cycle, you know, for past several months. It doesn't happen overnight. The energy has to align with it, and it can be a slow process. But now I feel like a lot of that is coming to a head literally this week. And I feel like it's going to be true for the rest of the month of March. So a lot of us are clearing karma. A lot of us are just dealing with the past. Like from 10 years ago, the past is coming back. It's like, well, wait a minute. I thought I handled that. It's like, well, you handled it to a point. Now it's time to go further into your healing and take that healing to the next level. All right. So crossing you is the King of Cups reversed. All right. So maybe whoever's coming in from your past relationships could be a water sign, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. But really, I get the sense, Capricorn, that this is you guys. That this is you guys struggling with your emotions, working on tapping into your intuition, and just kind of working through feelings. Like I said, I do get the sense that, you know, you're like, well, hey, I took care of that. We've already addressed that. We've been through that argument. We came to an agreement. Why are you coming back? What else do you need? What else is there to talk about? And I feel like this is you. This is sort of a spiritual test for you, Capricorn, to be like, all right, cool. So, you know, the past is resurfacing. How are you going to handle that? Are you going to fall back into old thought patterns, old behaviors, things that you used to do in the past? Or are you going to rely on your newfound wisdom and healing and expansion to address the problem and say, all right, you know, look, the old version of me would have handled it this way. The old version of me would have reacted this way or said this or would have done that. But that's not who I am anymore. I am more aligned spiritually and intuitively with myself. And I've done a lot of healing on myself to heal this past situation. And what used to trigger me back then are no longer triggers for me now. Or I now recognize my triggers and I'm not going to react the way that you expect me to. Or I'm not going to handle the situation as you expect me to. Something like that. All right. So there is definitely an evolving soul situation happening here. And I feel like this is coming in to show you how much progress you've done, Capricorns, on your healing journey. All right. And that's coming in for a lot of the signs here in the collective. I feel like tis the season for soul expansion, tis the season for healing, and to really, put the past in the past and, sort of see how you're going to react to it. Foundational to you is the Page of Pentacles, manifestation. This could also be an apology. So perhaps whomever or whatever from the past that's coming in is seeking an apology, or vice versa. You're seeking an apology from them. This is about healing. This is about moving forward. This is also the card of manifestation. The Page of Pentacles is young energy. It's like almost student energy. And, I feel like you're a student of yourself right now, Capricorn. And it's time for you to move forward into the next phase, the beginning of something. So you're starting a new cycle, you're starting a new project, you're starting a new way of life. It could be maybe the beginning of a new relationship. It could be the beginning of a new career or a new job. Maybe you switched offices, maybe you switched locations. This could be a new service project. Whatever it is, you could be going back to school for additional skill sets, or maybe just to learn something fun, something that's going to, bring you joy at the soul level. But this is all about new beginnings. It's practical, tangible energy. And I feel like this is what's needed to move you forward in, the next chapter of your life. All right. In your recent past is the Empress reversed. So I feel like there was a time period where you lacked motivation, or you lacked clarity, or you lacked an idea on how to move forward, because when the Empress comes in, she's all about creation. This could also represent pregnancies. I'm hearing infertility. All right. So I feel like some of you may be starting the in vitro process, IVF. For those of you who are trying to have a family, I feel like for some of you, this could also be a blockage or being stuck in a passion project. You're working on something, but you've hit a roadblock. It could be a lack of financial funding. It could be maybe you just lost your creative spark and you're just trying to align with it to maybe gain clarity on which way to take the project, and maybe a new direction. Maybe the direction that you originally were going in just wasn't working. But whatever it is, this is a block. It's in the past, but I feel like you're getting past that. So I feel like this resurfacing from the past is going to help give you the clarity and the answers that you need to move forward, to create, or to continue to create your new life. But you have to, I feel like the message is you have to understand what happened in the past and understand the lesson, so you can integrate that lesson into your healing and into your forward progression. All right. So what's on your mind? Confusion. You're feeling really stuck right now, Capricorn. This is stalemate energy. I'm hearing you damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, it's time to not only use your logical energy and use the air energy. It's time to tap into the water energy, tap into your spirituality, follow your intuition. And, it's time to take off the blinders, because I feel like whatever is coming back from the past is forcing you to look at the issue head on. And I feel like when this comes in reversed, it's like, nope, I'm keeping the blinders on. I'm not even dealing with it. I don't see it. If I don't see it, it's not there. Well, now it's like, nope, can't do that. You have to take off the blinders, and you have to look at the situation head on, and you have to make a decision on how you're going to move past this. How are you going to move forward? How are you going to heal? How are you going to reconcile that situation? And again, what's coming in from the past could be a person, could also be a situation that you thought was over and done with, and now it's like, nope, here's another layer that's coming through, and we have to address it. All right. So again, take it how it resonates, but it's time to act. It's time to, again, tackle it. You can't brush it aside anymore. Okay. You can't. So In your near future, some of you may be coming out from the cold. This is the Five of Pentacles reversed. I feel like some of you who may have felt shunned and pushed out now are being received and reintegrated into a situation, into a relationship. All right, again, take it how it resonates. But someone is extending a hand of forgiveness, either to you or you're extending a hand of forgiveness to someone. But it's time to let bygones be bygones, reconcile, and move forward. When the Five of Pentacles comes in reverse, this is about increasing your spirituality. So it's time to really get into alignment in order to move past this issue that you thought was over and done with. All right. You're going to be receiving some clarity real soon. Ace of Swords is coming in, and this is what's going to help you clear up this energy. All right, it's going to be a piece of correspondence. It could be an email, a text message, a phone call. It could be something that you see in the news. It could be communication from someone from the past, a person, whatever. But you're going to receive information in the very near future that's going to help clear this up. And when you get your answer on this, then you're going to be able to do this. Come in from the cold or bring someone in from the cold. Okay? Yeah. So your environment is Page of Swords. So I feel like this is miscommunication or feeling blocked, feeling like you can't speak your new truth. But I feel like there's a message that you want to convey to someone and you can't. It feels like you're being stopped or blocked or you're shutting yourself off. But you're holding back for some reason. I think it's because you're trying to clear the confusion. But again, once the Two of Swords goes upright, once you receive the clarity from this Ace, this won't be a problem. The only thing I caution here is just to run your words and thoughts through a filter and make sure that you're not speaking from a place of impulsiveness, because once you speak those words, can't take them back. It's real hard to take something back, and you can't really reverse the damage from that. It's real hard to do that. If you break someone's trust or if you lose someone's respect, good luck trying to regain that back. So be very careful with your thoughts and words right now. Hopes and fears, the Star. Yeah. You're trying to heal from something, but there's something that you're just not letting go. And I feel like once you loosen your grip, and again, I feel like this has to do with the past situation that's resurfacing, you're being forced to re-look at something or re-look at someone or reconsider a conversation. And once you do, this is going to help with the healing process. But right now, there's still a wound that's not healed yet. It's dormant. You had, on your mind's eye, you had the blindfold. It's like, I don't want to deal with it, but you have to. You have to deal with it. You have to confront the issue in order for this Star to go upright, which will result in a blessing and a healing for you. Okay, Capricorn? Right now, it's not. The ball's in your court. Look at the situation in its entirety. Look at all the events that have transpired since that time period up to where you are now. Look at who you've become, who you've evolved into from back then to where you are now, because that's going to help show you the progression you've made in the healing path. That's going to show your expansion, your up-leveling, your personal growth. And you're going to see, oh yeah, I've learned that lesson. Oh yeah, that situation helped me with this. And you're going to be able to compile all the lessons over the past decade to really address the past that's coming up. All right. And but don't fret, because right now you really are stressed out. This is the outcome card. 9 of Swords. You are really stressed out about it. You're losing sleep about the past coming in. You really are. You're feeling anxious. You're feeling out of balance. You're feeling out of alignment spiritually. You've got the King of Cups, reversed. Usually when the King of Cups is upright, it's someone who has mastered their emotions, who is able to equally balance out, the logical emotions with their feelings, with their heart chakra. It's, but since the King is coming in reversed, there is imbalance in that. You may be feeling overly emotional, which we're seeing here at the Ten of Swords. Overly emotional, overly anxious, not sleeping at all, stressing out. You're stressing out about who or what this Six of Cups represents. And it could be an old twin flame coming back. It could be an old soulmate coming back. All right. So what to do? It's up to you to get into alignment with your truth and understand the direction that you're going in with your life. And I feel like you are becoming a more independent version of yourself, and you're focusing less on others, and you're putting more time and energy into your self-care and your self-healing. All right. So let's go ahead and check in with the Untamed Oracle deck and see what's coming out. Yep, the unknown. Yep. Let's see. And one more. Oh, that one just fell out. Okay. Yeah, fear of the unknown reversed, endurance reversed, and renewal. Yeah, so let's talk about this. So the unknown came in first. Darkness. I feel like you're going through a place that's unfamiliar for you. If you feel like you don't know where you're going, you feel like you don't know what you're doing. It's dark. You don't have clear direction. You just sort of feel like you're bumbling around in the dark. But you're not. Continue to tap into your intuition, which is being represented by the King of Cups, because you're not in alignment with your intuition, and that's why you're feeling lost. That's why you're feeling discombobulated and confused, and it's stressing you out. So just know that what's happening or has happened for your highest good, and that you're being spiritually guided by your spirit guides and your intuition. Follow your intuition. Follow that gut instinct. If it feels good, then do it. If it does not, if you're in a situation or in front of someone and it's like, ooh, I am feeling uncomfortable, you should probably break contact. All right. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, there's definitely the unknown. It has you rocked, and it's sucking a lot of energy from you. This is endurance reversed. Usually when it's upright, it's like, you've got a lot of endurance and stamina to continue forward and push. But since it's reversed, it's like, nope, you're feeling drained. You're feeling confused. You're feeling this. You're feeling, the Nine of Swords here, which is anxiety, stress, nightmares, lack of sleep, drained energy. All right. But yeah, again, get into spiritual alignment and really gain clarity on what you want. What does this mean? What does this resurgence of the past mean for you? Is it going to derail you from the direction that you've set your life's path on? Or is it going to enhance what you're doing? So these are some questions to consider, because just because someone from the past comes back doesn't mean it's always a bad thing. It could be a very good thing. It could mean that it's time to talk about what happened, and it could just be a very healing, forgiving conversation. And it might be enough to be like, all right, cool. We've said what we needed to say, and now we're going to part ways with increased respect for one another. It may not always, result in a reunion in a romantic situation. That's not always the case, and that's not what always needs to happen. It may just be an apology or a healing conversation, and that may be enough to release the stress and anxiety and give you the peace that you need to move forward in your life, knowing that there's no longer any regrets, for what happened back then, that the past is healed, that you're healed, and that you have closure, and you can now move forward, which I think is what you need. I feel like the past is coming back for closure, either for you, Capricorn, or for the other party involved. But this is a period of renewal. Yeah, so embrace it. And sometimes, spiritual awakenings can represent like a nervous breakdown. They can be quite uncomfortable. And it's like, well, why are we dealing with this? Well, it's coming back because it's saying, all right, let's revisit this. Let's see how far you've come in your healing process. How are you going to handle this situation, right? Life has a funny way of doing that. And it's just meant to show you that you've made a lot of progress on your journey. and you should applaud your progress. And now it's time for you to be the bigger person and, extend forgiveness to someone, or, help heal the situation. But this is definitely a period of renewal, and it's awesome and it's beautiful. And I think once you can do that, then this Star card will go upright for you. The healing and the blessing that you and or the other party involved are seeking.